Going on with our class about sacred contemporary art, we are focusing now on the Vatican Museum because there is an itinerary inside the museum dedicated to the collection of contemporary art. And this is a collection particularly important because was established by Paul VI with the desire to reinstate the dialogue between the Church and contemporary culture. It's a young collection and covers a time span from the end of the 19th century up to the early 20th century. I think it's more or less 8,000 artworks in, if I remember well, 36 rooms. Was inaugurated on the 23rd of June 1973 by Pope Paul VI, Pope Montini. And most of the artwork that are exhibited are actually gifts from artists, private collection, people that were somehow in touch with Pope Montini and his collaborators. Actually, Pope Montini was very interested in contemporary art, and he was the first to write a letter to the artist and to promote an encounter that was took place on 7 May 1964 in the Sistine Chapel, just at the end of the Second Vatican Council. In the discourse he was pronouncing, the pontiff underlined the effective distance between the Church and contemporary art, compared at least with the close and fruitful link of the past. So he was really an art lover, and just feeling these difficulties between contemporary art that seems to be not so much interested in sacred art anymore, in items that are related to the gospel. He was really calling the artist to come back to the Church. I'm reading now just few words from this letter that it's 8 December 1964. He wrote, "We now address you artists who are taken up with beauty and work for it. Poets and literary men, painters, sculptors, architects, musicians, men devoted to the theater and the cinema. To all of you, the Church of the Council declares to you through our voice, if you are friends of genuine art, you are our friends. The Church has long since joined in alliance with you. You have built and adorned her temples, celebrated her dogmas, enriched her liturgy. You have aided her in translating her divine message in the language of form and figures, making the invisible world palpable. Today, as yesterday, the Church needs you and turns to you. She tells you through our voice, do not allow an alliance as fruitful as this to be broken. Do not refuse to put your talents at the service of divine truth. Do not close your mind and breath of the Holy Spirit. In the message that he was giving to the artists, he was saying, we need you, absolutely. And if you are not coming back to us, we need anyway artwork. So we as pastors, we should become artists, because there is a real need for the world to be addressed through the way of beauty, basically. And the Pope is saying something that also John Paul II is going to say, almost the same concept. Paul VI wrote, "This world in which we live needs beauty in order not to sink into despair. It is beauty, like truth, which brings joy to the heart of man, and is that precious fruit which resists the wear and tear of time, which unites generations and makes them share things in admiration. And all of this is through your hands. May these hands be pure and disinterested. Remember that you are the guardians of beauty in the world. May that suffice to free you from tastes which are passing and have no genuine value, to free you from the search after strange and unbecoming expressions. Be always and everywhere worthy of your ideals, and you will be worthy of the Church which, by our voice, addresses to you today her message of friendship, salvation, grace, and benediction." So, for all this reason, this collection in the Vatican Museum is very important. And actually it's very important also for the work of art that we have inside. There are many artists that are really making the history of art, like, for example, Van Gogh, Bacon, Chagall, Carrade, Chirico, Manzù, Capogrossi, Fontana, Burri, Matisse, and so on. So now we are just trying to start with one work of art that is in the first room, that is a crucifixion by Gerardo Dottori. So this is a painter who was born in Perugia 1884, and died in 1977. So this crucifixion, I'm reading now what Tommaso Filippo Marinetti, who is the founder of Futurism, the words that he used to describe this painting. And so we can understand a little bit better what the Futurism is and what the Futurism made at the beginning of the last century in Italy, and not only in Italy. So Marinetti says, the crucifixion is distinguished by the fascinating fluidity of the bodies of the women weeping at the foot of the cross. These appear to be painful extension of the very body of Christ, all saturated with an unearthly light that constitutes the dominant character of the painting. So the painting was painted in 1927, and this painter Gerardo Dottori was kind of one of the main figures of the futurism in sacred art. So, what is futurism? Futurism, as we understand immediately from the word, it's an artistic movement that is really keen on future. So Filippo Tommaso Marinetti was born in Milan, but grew up in Egypt, in Alexandria. Was a man that was educated, although he is Italian, he knew better the French language than the Italian one. And in 1909 wrote the Manifesto of Futurism, in which basically it's saying different things, just underlying and promoting the idea that we have to change. Futurism means that we should do things in a different way. The past is really not so important. We have to break with the past. What is the future? The future is positive, and the future is to be rapid, the speed. Art should be a mirror of the ideas, and these ideas are really to be active, to be open to industry, cars, machines, electric power, even from the point of view of political view. The futurism was to intervene in the First World War. They wanted really to fight in this movement that is really the biggest we had in Italy at that time, and maybe the last one so big. We have people basically from Milan. Not only poets. Well, Filippo Tommaso Marinetti was a poet, but also we have Balla, Boccioni. We have also people in Florence like Papini, Soffici. Then there is Pelizza da Volpedo. So Boccioni is one that is really keen on cities, the importance of change subjects. People that are workers. Boccioni is really interested in what is electricity, the power, and then we have Russolo. We have many different artists. They wrote also a manifest for sacred futurism art, in which basically they say to produce sacred art we don't need artists with faith. We just need futurist artists, people that are really keen on trying new way to do things. And actually it's saying that only the futurism will be able to show the mystery of Christian faith, hell and paradise in a different way, with new light, with new vision. Also, they were really into flying. So what is flying with airplanes, and the view from above was something very new for them. And basically, these are the main ideas of the manifest of futurism in sacred art. But the manifest of futurism it's really interesting because it's not interesting only for them as a group, but as something that is related to those times, the beginning of 19th century. So in this manifest they say, we want to sing the love of danger, the habit of energy and rashness. The essential elements of our poetry will be courage, audacity and revolt. They were organizing events in theaters, and they were very provocative in what they did. So the third point, literature has up to now magnified pensive immobility, ecstasy and slumber. We want to exalt movements of aggression, feverish sleeplessness, the double match, the furious leap, the slap and the blow with the fist. We declare that the splendor of the world has been enriched by a new beauty, the beauty of speed. A racing automobile with its bonnet adorned with great tubes like serpents, with explosive breath, a roaring motor car which seems to run on machine gun fire, is more beautiful than the victory of Samothrace. So this is very provocative. If you want, you can read if you look on the web, Manifesto of Futurism, you will find a translation of the 11 points of this manifesto. And so the painting by the crucifixion at the beginning was really criticized because it was something so new and so different. But then actually was appreciated, and actually there is a version of this painting of the same signs that was displayed at the Biennale of Religious Art in the whole year 1950. So this is just an example of an artwork that it's very, I think it's very interesting for you can see that there is something that could be related to maybe to Cubism in a way. Also there is a lot of geometrical work. Colors are completely new, the vision is completely new, and yes, this is one of the painting in the first room of the collection of contemporary art in the Vatican Museum. And we stop here for now.